is the best.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the final show of season 1 of Sheer Chat, right here from the Sheer Chat studios of Washington, D.C. I am your host, Rashawn Broadnex, and again, I have my lovely co-host, Miss Kenya Metters here. We are here for the final show of the season, as we said, so this show is going to be a little bit different for you guys. You've met Kenya before. We've talked about lots of things with her. So you already know her, so there's no need to go through all those preliminaries and formalities. Tonight we have a full show of the hot topics and, or as I like to call it, the tea.
Ooh.
I love the tea. So sit back and enjoy as we bring you the tea on this evening. Kenya, do you have your topics ready?
Oh, you know I got my tea.
Okay, I have my topics ready. But you know what? I did want to start out, and I wanted to say thank you to everybody who came on the show this season, who shared with me, who shared, their personal stories, who shared their products and, their talent with us. So thank you to all you guys who appeared in season 1. I did want to have a full reunion, but, I didn't plan that out just as I wanted to. So stay tuned for the full reunion for season 2, which will be coming up in 2 weeks. We'll be starting that in 2 weeks. So as we wrap up season 1, I did want to say this weekend was kind of tumultuous. We got some news that was just kind of a little, I don't even know what you want to call it. It was kind of surprising, not yet surprising, but it just made me feel kind of way. So I found out that one of our great educators, Miss Buntricia Bastion, is in the hospital, and she is in Florida. She's going to try to make it up here to D.C., once they release her from the hospital. So we're looking forward to seeing her here. We're going to wish her many prayers and Godspeed as she makes this travel and hope that she is able to get here sometime this week. So we'll keep you updated on that. And as we move forward, let's go right along with the show, Kenya. What should we talk about first?
Let's start with you want to jump into Kim K and Donald Trump? Or?
Let's do that.
Okay, so Kim Kardashian met with President Donald Trump this week, as a lot of people knew about prison reform. And it stirred up a lot of controversy. So what do you think about the whole Kim K meeting with Trump?
My feeling about that was simply this. I'm glad that she wants to use her celebrity status for something worthy and something, really honorable. I think that, to me, it was more to it than that.
Mm-hmm.
I think she was on the heels of the whole Kanye and Donald Trump thing.
I agree.
So, what I believe would have been a much better showing is if she had gone, because she's a notable person. So it's great that she went, but also you had some other people to stand by you and to also back up what you were trying to present to him.
Right.
Actual political people. So that they can say, yes, this is actually a good idea. We should move forward with something, move forward with what you're presenting to the president. I think that would have given her a little more of a sounder footing, because we haven't heard anything else about it. It was just like a photo op. She took a picture with him, and that's all we've heard.
Right.
So what are your thoughts on it? What did you think about her visit to the White House?
Honestly, the same thing like you said. I think that there's definitely more to it. Mm-hmm. I think that it's disgraceful that like you said, I think that if you're a celebrity, try your best to use your platform to make a difference in the world, which is great. But like you said, I think that there definitely is more to it, especially with everything that happened with Kanye and his support for Trump. So it's kind of like she's trying to do like a black thing, in my opinion, because mass incarceration disproportionately affects African Americans, at a higher rate than white Americans.
Absolutely.
So I think that she's trying to like kind of So like, hey, I'm on the black side. You know, me and Kanye, we still on the black side.
Right.
I don't appreciate that there have been several people who have been fighting for this um, reform, and nothing has changed except when she comes into the office. Now all of a sudden it's national attention,
Right. It's a
national
whole
news.
highlight.
Yes.
So now, do you think that there will be any change?
I think that because honestly, right now she's lobbying to get a certain woman pardoned who was tied up in
It was a cocaine ring.
cocaine ring, but she never did drugs. She never
Right.
killed anybody.
And it was actually her first offense.
First offense, money laundering. So I think that, yes, she will get pardoned because of that. But as far as, it's like, what about everything else? What about
everybody else?
Everybody else,
Right.
you know. So honestly, I'm confused as to why this woman in particular and everything, but we'll see.
Well, the thing with that was, and I wish I could remember her name offhand, but I will, post that along with the credits of, not the credits, but you'll see it go across the screen. But she said, one of the things that stood out to me was Kim K said, I would like to do this once a year.
Okay.
And so to me, it was like, I guess like her charity, her good deed for the year that she was trying to, and I said, to me, it's not something that you can pinpoint and say, oh, I want to do this once a year. You have to do it when it's necessary.
Right.
Exactly. So after you do it this year, if the young lady gets out this month, what are you going to do for the rest of the year?
Right.
Do you take a back seat until 2019 and say, okay, now I get back into it? So I feel like while the intent may be there, the intent may be good, I think that, like we said at the beginning, it's a little more to it.
Right.
It's a little more to it. So I'm waiting to see what's going to come from that in the next couple of months and probably over the next year or so.
Right.
But speaking of Kim K and Kanye, so he has this #1 album now, Daytona. Okay, so now the big controversy, and you know what, this kind of touched me. And I'm not going to say, I don't want to say touch, because touch is like that word when you say, oh, it touched me. I think it upset me.
Okay.
Because on the album cover for Daytona, do you know what the picture was?
Wasn't it Whitney Houston?
I could throw this iPad on the floor.
You love Whitney.
How dare you try to besmirch the memory of Whitney Houston by posting a picture of her bathroom? And it's not just her bathroom, but it was the bathroom that a family member took a picture of, at the time of her death. So the drugs were there and all that. And then, so just to put that out to me, that really bothered me, and it showed me again the type of person that he is. What are your thoughts on that real quick?
Honestly, I used to love Kanye when I was in like junior high school and everything, and even high school, and then all of a sudden, like, the mother passed, and after that, like, you just saw the, like, direct just change.
Spiral.
He married an airhead.
Of all the things he's done, he's married an airhead.
He married an airhead. He started having beef with people he shouldn't have had beef with, and it's just crazy. He just said today that he felt like mixed children look better than children that are a product of two black people.
Well, first of all, when it comes to things that he said, after he said that slavery was a choice, I just had to,
he's lost his mind.
Basically.
He's lost his mind, and as of now, I can't support you promoting or even, like, I feel like insulting Whitney Houston, like, her legacy. You chose to use that, her biggest downfall,
worst moment
in life, as a tool for promotion for you, and I can't respect it.
Right.
So Kanye.
And the thing that, as we get ready to go to commercial, the thing that really upset me about it was the album was already planned out. They already had the artwork done. He made this decision at 1:00 in the morning to change the album cover and Lord, I can't remember the actual guy who did the work on it. Pusha T.
Okay, right.
He said, you know, I'm not going to endorse you changing the cover.
Right.
I'm not going to change it. Kanye paid $85,000 to have this changed. And because mind you, where we are in the timeline, this album is about to drop. So you got to change it real quick. And he said this erratic change, and then not only that, you paid a family member of Whitney Houston. See, and that's the problem that I had also. A family member took that photo for what? Number one. But then you sold it off.
Mm-hmm.
How low can you be? I'm just going to leave it right there because I got Whitney's back. Girl, I got your
That's
back.
right. That's Auntie Whitney.
Exactly. I got your back. So we're going to stop right there for a moment. We're going to go to a commercial and we'll be back in just a few minutes with the final show of season 1 of Sheer Chat. I'm Rashawn Broadnax and this is Kenya Meadows and we will be right back.